Okay.
And then one of you, maybe two, if we have enough space, go together to the station, drop the luggage in the rent car company, and then just before I will take all the others.
That sounds very clear.
Okay.
So now I know I'm recorded. I have to be careful. Not joking about China. It's okay. So so I take everybody to the tram station.
Okay.
It's half an hour by tram to go to the center of the city. Then from the center of the city you can walk and meet somewhere. And one person is going with me. We drop the luggage, and this person is going to join the other. And I say bye bye, and I go to take the train. My train is 12:30. Your train is 2:30.
Okay, yes.
So you have 2 hours to visit and take lunch.
Okay, good.
So that's okay. I think we have to take luggage and put in the car at 10:45 here.
Okay.
Okay.
And so, no, sorry. Yes, 10:45. 10:45. So 11, I take you there. Come back. Go there. We need more than half an hour to go.
Okay.
Okay. So one thing I wanted to discuss now is, as I told you, I think in inclusive, we could have a working paper series. So we select a few topics, and then we have done something. We write 5-6 pages in English. It's a first block of results, and we put this on the internet. So we can do this in all the case studies. So progressively we have some results. So one thing we could do is try to list what working papers we can write now with what we have.
Okay.
That's one. Then we can maybe wrap up the discussion about the workshops. Okay, how do we workshop number 1 and 2, and then I don't know what else you want to.
Okay, I think that's
discuss.
enough.
That's enough.
Yeah, for a list of working paper titles
and the workshop.
And the workshop agendas, potential agendas. Okay.
So what do you want to start with? Workshop maybe, more important.
Yeah, more workshop first. So maybe, I think Tailing on the train, he already got something, and Han has some idea.
Yeah.
So now we have the 3 different groups. Yeah, we divide in every workshop. We have 3 different groups: national, local, and farmer. Yeah, I think. Residents.
Residents. Yeah, we probably classify it as the second group is local stakeholder with technical knowledge, and and the third group is local residents without technical knowledge.
Yeah, we can make this opposition between experts and lay people.
Experts and lay people. Okay. Yeah, that's a good term.
Okay.
下我把笔记找一下。
So before, I think the idea was because Tailing draw this systemic view, and the first workshop will be describe this kind of what we are finding, from the interviews to describe this systemic view to see if everybody has similar feeling and what do they think about this systematic, and what potential vision or action they can think from this kind of systematic description of this groundwater management systems.
Yeah, so I think the objective of the first one is really building a shared understanding of a system.
But the Tsung-Yi point out that the atmosphere of this meeting, and how to create some activities to make every stakeholder, because most of our stakeholders are from agency, and for the agency people, they maybe have 2 different attitudes to attend this kind of meeting. One is they are representative for the agency, so then they are very careful to speak. And another is they are personal.
Yes.
Come here. Only to share with personal view. But these 2 can be very confused to them very easily. So they don't know.
Impressed by
representative
of their organization, they will speak carefully. But if they are expert, they will speak more. Talk about more.
Telling you want to take this one and I put mine there if you want. Because I just want to charge for a train.
But but it's not
long.
too long enough. Yeah, that's okay. I can charge on the train
我那
too.
边有那个延长线，你要不要用？还是你要接在这个地方？
对，有点太长没
No,
关
or
系。
you sit here and you can charge. Change with Dr. Pan and then.
That's okay. Still, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Because you know sometimes on the train it's not working.
我早上看起来真的以为是肝胆，我说看你哪里去买那么多肝胆。
Okay, so is it possible to explain at the beginning? Sometimes I do this, I say, okay, we invited you because you are an expert, because you know things, so we want to take your ideas. We will not write in the documents we are producing, but the agency said this and the department said this. This is just your knowledge, we just want to think together. But I don't know if it's enough to tell this at the beginning.
I don't know because I don't have experience of this kind of workshop with Pan. Yeah, Tsung-Yi have more.
Sometimes they will just use nickname. And if we have to write something in the document, we have to use not a real name.
No, but
it's another way.
No,
we can tell them we are not going to write anything. I mean, we are not going to write who said what.
Yeah.
What we just want to say that some people know something, some people don't know other things. We don't have to name it.
It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
It's work.
So I think this is important to explain at the beginning. Okay.
And I think the workshop things. I don't know how in the past how it has been done in Taiwan because I don't have this kind of experiences before. So how do we create activities to encourage people express their view? So and how can we, as you mentioned yesterday, we need some ice breaking or something like that.
I have attended a workshop organized by an NGO for local communication, and I feel they will choose a place not so formal, just like a coffee shop or a lazy place, and it make the atmosphere like let's just chat, not discuss. Yeah.
Like a phone do.
With cake.
It's a way, but for NGO, they didn't put so many foods on it, but they just maybe a coffee or tea, and we can discuss, share each other. Yeah, that's my experience. And I feel it's work because people will say more. In that
For example,
atmosphere.
if you have here, you have taking this room here, and then here you have a whiteboard, and it's much more easy than
Yeah, but chair is more important.
I mean, chairs are more like
So it's lazy, so they can feel comfortable and share more their experience.
Yeah.
Yes. So place is we should select or design a good place. Yeah. And
so sorry, place. So there is one group in Taipei, a national group.
Yeah, national group.
National group is going to be formal anyway. So this can be in university. Do you have a relaxed place in the university?
Only in our department. Sometimes if the relaxed place is in departmental head office, sofa inside, but not
Do you
inside.
have a faculty club? Something like that.
but we will hold a workshop in Yunlin?
No, one will be in Taipei with water agency, irrigation agency.
Yeah, policymakers.
So this is only one small group, 5-6
6
people.
to 8 people. Yeah.
So this can be anywhere. Then Yunlin is 2 groups in Yunlin.
I see.
One with experts and one with lay people.
For lay people, we must hold in. Like we
In the restaurant.
We did in a restaurant, round table.
Yes.
Some discussion and the dish comes. or the other. But for the agencies people, I don't know how it can be done. Yeah. In Taipei, I think maybe in our department
Because
it's
easier.
It's free.
Okay. But in Yunlin, when we started to make the list of participants, maybe we have 20 people. So if we have 20 people at one point, we may have a collective activity, and then we split 2 groups, 10 and 10, because 20 is too much. So we need to find a place where it's possible to have 2 small groups separate.
Yeah.
I think really is not a problem. We can ask Dr. Liao. Dr. Lai to find.
But he will find the same place.
Or maybe in Huawei University, because we will find someone there to participate, right?
Yeah, the problem with Huawei University is they might want to participate as scientists.
现在就是不希望
And
太
maybe
正
bring
式。
some people, and I think you want to keep the control of what is happening.
We borrow only this place.
It's a bit too small.
Too small.
Yeah, you can put maximum 10 people around the table.
And in that time, I attend the workshop held by NGO. They ran a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
There's some.
there are many small tables around. So different people, they just like us. Here maybe 3 to 5, and there 3 to 5, 3 to 5, 3 to 5, and just discuss each other. Yeah.
But do you have every table?
A facilitator?
A facilitator.
No. Because for example, we can present here. Everybody just feel comfortable in there, not so formal.
Yeah.
Like a meeting.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
Okay.
In Tainan nowadays, there are a lot of coffee shop in old houses. They remodel the house, and usually they can rent out all the space.
Yeah. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
For half days.
For half days
morning.
and 包场，
So they also can get tea and
找
coffee.
一些小咖啡厅啊，包场。
Because John said that we want to separate in 2 groups, and we don't want the 2 groups to intervene each other, right?
Yeah.
So we have to maybe like separate. Maybe a presentation in the beginning everybody can hear, but later we can separate 2 groups.
But separate doesn't mean
you
we
don't need
different
to-
rooms where we can just
I'm
different
afraid the
people.
talking, the sound will affect each other.
Yeah, it depends because if we imagine we have 4 tables, for example, 4 tables in each table, five people. So first we have a presentation of your diagram. Maybe we can show your diagram. So we have a presentation of a system. So Tailin is explaining. Okay, we discussed with everybody before with interviews, and this is the system we have. And so I think this can be printed on a very big poster
or screen. Yeah.
Maybe even several parts. Like you start printing this part, and below we have impact. So you start printing one part, then you another part, and then you show everything. So you present it, and then we say, okay, now we presented everything. Every group, small table, is going to think about this. You have some post-its. And you can write some comments, and then so you discuss what comments. So everyone has to make a comment on. There will be numbers: number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and so on. You have to make a comment. So you write, okay, number 1, and you discuss together, and you write a comment. This is, we don't agree, we agree, whatever. And then so it's a table work, and then each table is after working. You tell, okay, now table 1, can you explain your comments? And then they come, they put the post-it. One person from the table is putting the post-it and explaining to everybody, okay, we discuss together and we do not agree. Then the second table, third table. So it's quite dynamic. I think this 4 or 5 table is a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to maybe separate them into groups that have similar concerns together.
I'm not sure. It's a choice. Maybe it's good to put someone from irrigation agency here and local government and another from local government there.
Yeah.
So mixing people.
Yeah, yes, that's very important. If you want to separate different group, you have to mix them for each stakeholder. Yeah.
And also separate people from the same organization.
Yes.
Very important.
The attendee like the 科长, will they sit in the table and discuss with
Yeah.
Yes. If first of all we know, we tell them today, please forget you are officer. You're just an expert.
No.
And today we will we won't leave any record for this meeting. So just relax.
No, we keep records of ideas.
Yes,
we want ideas. We just collect ideas.
Yes.
We don't collect who is telling what.
Yes. So they will say more. Yeah. So I think the meeting holder is very important because he will control the atmosphere and control the pace. Yeah.
So you are meeting organizer.
You are the meeting guys.
maybe you are going
Facilitator,
in charge
yeah.
of this whole problem. I control the.
I'd be a meeting holder every time.
Many times,
Yeah, but then I think if we have 2-3 groups, then we need a table facilitator for each group.
Yeah, I think, but it's okay because then if you have 3-4 tables, you can have one person from each, from you at each table.
Okay.
Not necessarily talking too much, but just helping to say, okay, you've been discussing for 20 minutes here. We still have 20 minutes, but you have to talk about everything. So make sure
Yes,
that
time control is very important.
yeah, make sure they talk about everything.
Yes. So, in my opinion, first of all, I will give them before our presentation. I will give them ice break. Because, for example, everybody introduce themselves in 30 seconds.
Okay.
And let them know each other. So if we have 10 people, then we will maybe 5 minutes. Yeah, but 20 people, maybe they will 10 seconds for introduce themselves. But just for you, I will make an example for them easier. Yeah, and then start Hua Long to present or me present the future or scenarios or what do we do here?
Maybe objective, okay.
Yeah, and secondly, I want them to make a short present to describe the relationship between themselves and groundwater. What then? What do they think? Yeah. So after that, we can know different stakeholder their opinion to groundwater because before that we will show them the scenario and then we will start our discussion. For example, yesterday you mentioned if we did nothing, we do nothing, then 10 years later.
This is not in the first workshop. This will be in the second workshop.
Oh, okay.
I think in the first workshop we only explain the results of the interviews. So it's what is the situation today and what are the problems today. Like this, you mentioned this policy, the food agency, this one?
Agriculture and Food Agency.
Yeah. So maybe you can show this and explain this again. It's
maybe. 跟讲中文，
科博没有听过这个嘛哈？
不要做，就有听到，你那个原者简报
那边有在那个最上面。
哦，有了。They heard in the water.
Yeah.
Water.
For the first
workshop is just this.
Okay, I see.
We have two round of workshop. The first round is about the system, and our interview.
It's easier.
It's easier. Yeah.
I can in the past way， 我们常用的那种 workshop，we can give them a big poster.
Yes, like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Each table.
Yeah, each table.
Each table, and they write on it. Yeah.
Yes, or they use便利贴
Post-it.
Yeah.
Right now, but
Yeah, but it's. I was thinking they prepare sticker and they go to put on the board, but it's better you put a poster here,
And then present.
and then they take the poster and go. Yes.
Yes.
So you have a poster in each table.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
very good.
Yes.
Very good.
And so for the first workshop, we will figure out the relationship between each stakeholder, right?
Yeah.
That's the purpose.
But can you repeat the resident or farmers group? We have 15 or 20 people in the.
The lay people, expert
Experts or lay people?
lay people.
They
有2场，一个是区域的相关的
Stakeholder.
机关的代表，一个是就是一般人这样子。
对，
农民
那我们现在
一般人
就是，because 应该是一般人的，一般人部分
Lay people，
，lay people 部分。You say you have to separate in different groups and they can have conflict opinions, but if they are all lay people, they will have the same concern, right? Or
What kind of concern? Yeah. No, just for them to. But for lay people group, we have also different mixture. Like individual farmers
Workshop only officer.
and
No.
and village leaders, 村里长，然后
有3
pig farmers
3区，一个
and
中央级，
fishery fisheries,
Three workshops.
and also
Three
there's
workshops
a
and 3 groups. So it's
farmers
9
university
workshops.
professor,
It's 9 workshops.
local and also drillers, drilling companies, and there's
So we
a
hold-
few NGOs.
We hold a workshop for central government to make sure the
的
relationship
就明确的人还没有
and
的明确，大概有这几个，所以也有一些差异。
Government
那一场
also make
多少？
the re-
一场我记得昨天
So we-
No.
对，12、3个，12、3
They
个，
have different
可能
opinion.
是
So we
切2个就可以。
make
对
consensus。
yeah.
No, but yeah, the idea is we have 3 issues to be discussed. One is agree on the system. How is the system working? Second, scenarios. And the last one, prepare an action plan after discussing the scenario. So we have 3 steps. Then we have 3 series of workshop. One in August, one in January, and one in, I don't know, April. So, and then for each workshop, we have a group of
Central, local, and farmer.
central, local expert and lay people. Okay.
Yeah.
And so my suggestion is we have separate workshop because we have 5-6 people or maybe 10 in Taipei. It's difficult to bring them to, so we get their opinion from Taipei. Then in Yunling we have 2 groups, experts and lay people. So first workshop, 2 groups, 2 workshops. Second workshop, 2 workshops. Third workshop, 2 workshops. And then at the end we can make a final meeting maybe. Final meeting, everyone is invited and we present the results. But you're right, maybe some different ideas will come of a workshop, and we just make a final meeting saying,
Integrate there.
yeah, everybody agreed on this and different issues, different opinions on some issues, and we discuss at the end. Because if we want to put everyone together, we have 50 people. 40, 50 people is too much.
Maybe current, around 30. Yeah. Or if all
你说
people
明一下
together.
更多让听众了解。
Total 30.
Local,
你说明
expert plus lay people. But it's
中央的目前有水利署、农水署、农粮署、营建署。那我们假设一个署大概一两个，所以这到6到8个。
我觉得一个署一个1到2。
可是有些是像水利署，它水政组跟水文技术组可能分别都要邀请，因为都相关。所以 所以大概预计对六个啦，然后8个顶多这样子。
I agree with you because it's really difficult to invite so many officers from Taipei to Yunlin.
And also in terms of
一
research,
些水利署有台中办公室，像水政在台中，水文技术组在台北。
Yeah, some department of the central government are in Taichung.
They have an office.
Near Yunlin.
so maybe, I mean, you decide if it's in Taipei or Taichung or... But I think it's also interesting to have this expert group and this lay people group so we can compare. I mean, in a research paper, you can say, okay, when we talk to experts, they agree on this and that. When we talk to lay people, they do not see, they do not understand this and that. And it's good to have separate public. So you can analyze different
and the first group is more policy
level. Yeah. So you will have 3 different publics, 3 visions, possible visions.
所以对啊，尽可能是。
但如果你需要水政组，还要再去 interview 水政组。
I put this in the middle so you can better record everyone. No? I put like this.
It's okay.
Like this, everybody, you can hear everybody.
Yeah, it's okay.
OK 啊，
Okay, so if we
把它弄完整一点。
if we think in terms of timing, so people arrive, we have icebreaker introduction. Maybe you ask them already, can you present yourself and explain the link with groundwater in the first round table. So this is going to take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
My name and I am working in groundwater for 20 years, I'm a farmer and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So this is already 10 minutes. Then there is a presentation of objective. Today we are meeting, we will do this and that. You will have a poster, you have to write on it and blah blah blah. 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Then there is a
20 minutes, 10 minutes, yeah.
10 plus 10, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have a presentation of, okay, we interviewed everybody and this is what we understand. Presentation of a tailings diagram. Maybe this is 15 minutes to explain, 20 minutes to explain very well, so it's already 40 minutes. And then we give a poster to every table. Every table has like 1 hour.
Too long.
Too long. 40 minutes. 40.
I'm not sure for central government.
We probably separate the topics into a few small
because
topics
for the purpose of our
and each topic
first
for
workshop,
15 to 20 minutes.
If Thailand analyze the relationship very well, I think they will say it's good, no problem. So today workshop finished.
Yeah. I think we have to. We say okay. We make the presentation and then we have 3 questions. We ask you to think about 3 questions. Yeah? So in this diagram, for example, we see that the groundwater problem is due to things which are not functioning very well. Like the government policy in agriculture is giving incentives to do this and incentives to do incentives to change away from rice, but also giving incentives to produce rice. This is problem number 1. So we ask you, can you please rank the most important problems that we have to try to solve? So for example, conflicting agriculture policy is one problem. For example, political interference in groundwater management, like we have the election problem. This is another problem we have to solve. So we ask them, can you identify problems to solve, the more important problem to solve? And second question, for each problem, can you give your ideas about solution? For example, this political problem with the county government, the solution could be water rights should not be managed at county level, should be managed at national level. This is the solution I propose. So this is what we ask you to do. And you write on the poster your ideas. So maybe we can even give them some, color sticker, small color sticker, red, orange, green.
Yeah.
And you put the red when it's very important problem.
Yeah.
And then you write a solution, a few words about the solution, something like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they have work to do. So otherwise they say, yeah, it's very good, but...
So we have to design some like these activities, ask them to finish the homework.
Yeah.
Yes.
So one would be, what are the most important problems? Start from 1 to 4 on the diagrams, which one are more important? And the second is
What's your solution?
solution to this. Your ideas about solution to the problem.
Yeah.
Because these ideas from solution we will take then and we will to make the scenarios in the second workshop. So I think if you do this,
the third question about your solution, what problem you think you will suffer?
in the solution.
Yeah. I mean,
What kind of this kind of solution? What the problem? What the potential issue can be? Yeah.
With implementing the solution.
Yeah.
Pros and cons of the solution.
Okay. Yeah.
because if not every solution are performed easily.
Yeah.
So what they think, yeah, which is the key issue.
Yeah,
in
or
their-
conditions for success.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better than problems.
Yeah.
Because you identify solutions and you tell us what we should do for the solution to be successful, instead of asking for problems. Because I think this is enough. Three questions. They are big questions. So if people are 5 people on the table, they need time to discuss together. I would give them 45 minutes. 45 minutes, then every group is going to present. So they present, and over tables they ask questions and they make comments, and then the second group is going. And you have 3 hours, very easily. Because it's 45 minutes, already 40 minutes before, so it's only 1 hour left for discussion, presentation and discussion.
But the first thing I was thinking is, everything can be for the high level officers.
One table, yeah.
Yeah, they're very easy to link to the political status.
Yeah.
Like we discussed with, like you see in water meters, they say it's a political things. Even though they think it is a good solution, but it is really associated with political things, not easy to tackle with. And I also have the experience. I discussed this with one 南水局局长. So the director of the Water Resources Bureau in south part of Taiwan, where they are now encountering the drought. He said, in his idea, the best solution is stop the subsidize if the farmer grow paddy in first season because it is drought season. But after he said this one, but this is impossible because political sense. The even higher level politician will not disobey the willing of the voters. So
They
very easy to
deny
go through the
themselves.
easy solution, but easy conclusion. But the solution is cannot. If this is the
impossible.
conclusion, then solution will stop because they even though they already have some ideas, but
So maybe we should stay first at that, stop criticizing first and give ideas. Stop criticizing your ideas first because people tend to criticize, oh, that's not impossible, that's not good, when they give ideas.
No, that's why if we focus on condition for success, if you want this to be feasible, then okay, political will be a problem. So how to convince?
it's jump to the political things very easy.
Yeah. But
So I think in the first round workshop, we're presenting the system map, and at the end of the workshop, we're discussing solutions. So in this round of workshop, we're only proposing possibilities.
Yes.
Don't ask them to think about feasibility. So we clearly separate the two. So the first one asks them to give possible solutions and anything you can think of.
Think if it is
Yeah.
possible to do.
Yeah, only think of ideas. And in the second round workshop, we let them think about action plan.
Yeah.
And in that stage, they can criticize. Okay, is it feasible? Is there any problem about this?
okay, but maybe even during the first workshop, so everybody's coming to propose ideas, and one of you can just take notes on the computer, make a list of all proposals, put them together, and at the end, to close the workshop, you say, okay, we show now the list of all the suggestions you made. And can you, maybe we can even ask them to, can you vote, everyone? So you have a list. Can you please say which one is very feasible, difficult, very difficult? So we ask them to rank the measures like
That's for the first round or second round?
End of the first round.
End of the first round. End of the first round, because you collect all the ideas, and then you ask them, or maybe we can just ask them, okay, can you tell us which are the three most feasible options? If we have to choose 3 actions to start, which one do you want? So everybody is asking, I say, okay, I'm for 1, 11, and 15. So you take 1, 11, 15. What's yours? 3, 7, 10. Okay, 3, 7, 10. So at the end of the workshop, we have a number of votes for each action.
Based on the feasibility.
On the feasibility. Yeah, if we have to do something, what is the most feasible? Okay, and everyone is proposing, we should start with this, this, and this, and we should not start with that because it's politically not feasible and blah, blah, blah.
Or maybe we can rank by 2 ways. One is the feasibility,
okay.
One is the willingness. Which one you prefer
you
the most?
Okay.
And which one is you think it's most feasible?
Okay.
And we want to rank.
Or most effective and versus feasibility.
Yeah, but then it becomes complicated. If you ask too many dimensions.
Okay.
Too many things they will confuse. Somebody goes to the second one, but some still stay in the first feasibility, so it will be mixed.
Okay.
But maybe we can explain that. Okay, which one should we be given priority? Considering effectiveness, it has to be effective, and considering feasibility. So you have these 2 things in mind, and just tell us which one should be implemented first, considering the 2 aspects. If you think it's not effective, then we should not do it. If you think it's not feasible, then we should not do it. So what should we do? So we don't know, we cannot make the distinction. I'm afraid if we ask feasibility and effectiveness, you have to think twice. So and we will be short in time at the end.
Considering the 2 together.
Yeah, the 2 together. Yeah, that's a good idea.
The 2 together. Okay. So then make a vote, the rank.
Yeah.
Consider both dimensions based on their knowledge.
So I think to prepare this, we should do the exercise in advance. We should think, we take your diagram and we try to list ourselves what are the solutions. So you have a list in your mind. So if on the table there is no idea, so you can put some ideas slowly and say, okay.
Yeah. That's we have to guide them to talk.
Yeah, but so we should not put the list of solutions on the table. We just let them talk. But if there is no idea, we should be able to give example. Yes.
How about?
So we have to make the list before. I think.
Yes.
And it's going to be also a bit difficult during the discussion, someone on the computer to make the list, because some people will sometimes say one solution which is almost the same. This table is giving a solution almost the same as this table. So is it the same? Is it 1 line or is it 2 lines? So the person taking notes is going to be a bit difficult. I don't know how to do it.
So what do you say? What do you say? You say,
for example, if I'm saying in this table we say, okay, we think that you should stop subsidizing rice in the first season, and then they say, okay, we should change the subsidy system on the rice, without saying exactly how. Is this 1 action, 2 actions? If you write. We have to take decision when making the list of actions. Sometimes it's slightly different. You have to combine or not to combine.
Maybe I will extend which one you think is better.
So you take note, someone take note, and at the end we just show the list, and we decide to put together.
Like similar, but which one is better, or they just the same thing.
Yeah.
Just extend. So confirm the list of solution first, then vote. So we have a list.
Okay.
Maybe some slightly different, but so maybe somebody confirm. Maybe
you can do it when people talk like they come and bring on a board, they bring their poster and they explain the poster. And you are on another board and you take notes. So you write the solution. So he's saying we have to change the subsidies. So okay, this is solution. Okay, you write change the subsidy. And if it's already on the board, because the first group already mentioned subsidy, so you say, is this the same? Do we agree it's the same? It's the same. Okay, so you put two, like two people mentioned this.
Yeah.
But it's I mean the list is already made by Dr. Pan on the paper, on the board. And then someone is typing, but the decision is already taken, I think. So we save time.
But we already have the number, every solutions, the number of the participant, they already mentioned the solutions. Maybe one solution may be mentioned by 3 different participants, and another one maybe 5. So we already have this kind of voting numbers.
Yeah, they always vote themselves.
No, you have a number of times the table has bring the idea, but at the end you need to have to vote, every person to vote if they choose this as a priority or not. So if people come with a poster, they explain the poster, and then you could have this. So if on the diagram we have a number, like 1 is we put a number on the diagram for each link. So and then people are coming and they say, okay, number 4 is agriculture policy.
Yep.
So number 4, so you write one idea here, and then another table is coming, give another idea on number 4, so you write another idea here. So it's all already organized, like with each group of solution related to your poster and with the number, and then we just write ideas like this. At the end, the list is here, and somebody is just typing.
This is a poster.
This is a big poster, and you write on the poster here.
Yeah.
So if we host this in like a coffee shop, but we don't have a big screen.
Usually, if they can rent out the space, they will have screens for events, for activities.
But for writing.
And even the screen, poster screen,
Whiteboard,
and whiteboards.
If for central government officer,
Do they do this? Or just formal meeting?
no. Because we have to create a atmosphere. Dare them to do this.
Exactly. You have to do the same.
Yeah.
It can be in a meeting room, but you have to do the same.
Yeah.
But if you have only 6 people, then people can, maybe you put 2 people 2 by 2. You ask, okay, you just talk with your neighbor, you talk with your neighbor, you talk with your neighbor, and you make suggestions, I don't know.
That's another way.
Or everybody is just making his own suggestion, one by one.
Maybe everybody make their own suggestions for national level.
It's more difficult. It's more difficult because,
So you want them discuss each other, right?
Yeah. Because, if there are only 6 or 7 people, it's difficult to make groups because it's too small. But if everybody is thinking alone, it's difficult. The table is good because if I have no idea, I don't say anything, and you start. So so I react, and he says something, so he reacts. So it's facilitating.
If the workshop is held for central government, I will tell them now this table from each organization, right? Different central.
农水署、水利署。
So if now if you have to cooperate each other, so what's your opinion? They have not only write down their own opinion. They have to discuss. If we have to cooperate each other, so maybe I will say, the solution A is okay. That's my thing. But maybe he said, we have to modify. Well, more feasible. Yeah. So we make then purpose. If this table you have to cover each other, and how will we do?
So it means, for example, in the national meeting, 6 to 8 people. So that then tell them say first, and then the moderator of the meeting, then we ask the solution one by one. Is his solution okay to you?
I don't think we should propose a solution in the
No,
first
no,
round.
no. They list their own by individually first.
Yeah. I think we can.
Then
They
ask the other solution too.
they write that group solution.
But if only 6 people, how they talk?
Yeah, it's a small. It's a,
Oh, okay.
I think after we do the lay people's workshop and we can identify certain key concerns of them, then propose those concerns to the central government or local government, ask them if they have any thoughts about those things. Like if they already have some solutions or some solutions they maybe they will do after.
yeah, it depends, or because either we start with no ideas on solution, and we ask everybody, what do you think about? Okay, what are the major problems here in the diagram, and what do you think are possible solutions? It's the same question for everybody. So one possibility also is to,
what Dr. Kerr proposed maybe goes to the second round.
Second round,
When,
yes.
when the first
Second
round
round, yes.
we gather all ideas, we can list all of them together. So every group will know other other ideas from different groups.
yeah.
就最后一场，对，就大家都可以知道
Because
那个。
we just discussed is if the local government they don't know what to say,
I think they can.
so we have to give them a question or some concerns that maybe we have experienced from other people, and or maybe we can tell them that we already have some concerns like this. Do you have other concerns? Maybe you don't have to give the solutions now. We can give the solution in the second round, but in the first round, you have to ask the local government to give us if these concerns are already your concerns now, or you have other opinions.
But I think that the central governments are very much, I mean, they are the one concerned, for example, by subsidy issue or legislation issue. So there are some issues. Local people will not give any suggestion because this is central government. So the central government will have I think, ideas. But maybe if we have only 6-7 people, if you present the diagram, and then we say, okay, because we are only 6, we will go through the diagram. So we start with 1. 1 is the policy, farming, agriculture policy issue. We told you, we understood there's a problem because you subsidize rice and you want to develop other crops. Okay, this is the problem. How can we change this? Give us your idea. Everybody is talking. Okay, now we go to second problem. We have a problem with adoption of these measures by farmers. We want farmers to change, but they do not change. How can we increase training? I don't know. What are the solutions to change farmers' mind? One is subsidy. We already discussed this. Other solution. So we say, okay, now we discuss this. Then now we discuss this central government, local government, and political issue. This is a problem. How can we solve it? What is your opinion? So we ask everybody to talk about this arrow, one by one. Maybe it's easier because we have a small group. So we don't have to ask them to think in a group of everything. We tell them we first discuss this. Go around the table. Okay, now we discuss this. We go around the table. Now we discuss this. We go around the table. Maybe it's easier. 6 people is very easy.
Yeah.
So it's a different approach than with the big group. But in the big group, when we put them around the table, the facilitator at each table has to do the same. Has to tell them, okay, let's discuss this. What is your opinion about this? Okay, now let's discuss this. What's your opinion?
Yeah,
and put your writing on this.
At least when
make the participant like from the same government feel that they are being the target, because if I'm representing for the food agency, I come here, you say, okay, your food agency have two policy, you have conflicts. What are you think and what people think? So I become a target. And next, another one become a target. So can this make them feel
a target in terms of threatened?
Yes.
Yeah, because they propose the target and they seem to have some confliction themselves.
This paper already list the agencies. So if I am the participant from the agencies, so okay, the food agency have this kind of issues, they have conflicts, and the water and resource agency have these issues. So
yeah, but how at the same time, there is a problem with agriculture policy. We say, okay, this is what we understood. There is a problem. We are not accusing anyone, but it is a problem. If we don't, in French we say, if you don't call a cat, then a cat is a cat. I understand. I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe it's all in the way you present it, to say, okay, we are not accusing. We are not. We are just putting together information we collected from the field, and we understand this is a problem, and we want to discuss it. You know better than us. Maybe that we do not understand why it's a problem, and you can explain us.
Maybe explain to.
Explain
maybe
first.
We misunderstand something.
Yes.
So maybe
please explain.
Please more detail about the idea and logic of this policy behind. Yeah.
So now you're on TV. No.
As soon as I see the camera, I don't know how to say it. Yeah. I'm a low-key person. I don't.
So I think a key issue will be to prepare this diagram you have here in a way which is easy for discussing.
Yeah.
This is really key, because that will be the main thing we put on the table.
So if this is my concern is correct. So if we discuss this with the agency people, should we really put the agencies on this systemic dynamic?
Maybe not the agencies. Maybe we should put more, I don't know, actions or.
It's because this agency, this is a myth.
For example, when we have a county here. So I need my glasses.
They don't actually have a logo, so it's
but here I would not put the government. I would put allocation of water rights. So it's
okay. More.
The problem is the allocation of water rights, and maybe we could also write. We know that there is political interference in allocation of water rights, but this is already a problem. But it's. So we are not naming an institute, and here it's more resource planning and drinking water security. It's not the agency you point. It's the we increase of groundwater to secure drinking water. This is what is happening. So in that way we do not name
resources
people. I think it's better to have only processes, activities and processes, and not.
So maybe food agency will be the food policy.
Food policy, exactly. It's.
We don't name the institute.
And even maybe one is food security policy, and the other one is.
We just mentioned their business.
Yes, exactly, the activity or the process. So there is a subsidy, and this is creating wrong incentive. No need to mention who is who.
Yeah, good idea. So that's for first workshop.
I think the diagram we need to write similar from national, at least the national and the local level.
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
local
Yes.
department level. And for lay people, it should be okay, but still better. Yeah, to write the policy instead of the institute.
Yeah, I think it's quite a good plan for the first workshop.
So the first nation level will be only 6 to 8 people.
Yeah.
So maybe, after we modified this figure into policies, every different policy will behave activities. So then discuss arrow with each of them.
Yes. So we put a number on each key arrow and then we discuss.
Okay, then the arrow 1. So
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
so how do we,
And the second workshop, it's a bit. It will depend on the results, but maybe we could write a scenario, also like a story, saying first scenario is if we do not change things, and then we try to imagine the problems in 2000 and I don't know 50.
Okay.
So the train line is like this.
Okay. So let me ask another question for the first workshop. So what kind of conclusion we should reach, or not conclusion, what final result we should obtain? Yeah, in first workshop, the vision, or potential solutions.
First we make sure the relation.
This is activities, but at the end of the workshop, what is the final result we should obtain?
So we have a shared understanding of the system.
Yeah.
Because they bring new information, and if some information is not clear to you because you never heard about it, and to you, then you discuss during the workshop, and we can tell everybody agrees on what we said now, or maybe some different vision on some points, but we know what is agreed and what is not agreed between participants. So this is the system vision. And then we have also a list of action with priorities. I mean, list of problems to be solved and solution by priority. So it's good. We will take this to construct scenarios.
Okay.
So I think that's two key results.
The priority of solutions.
Yeah, priority of solutions. So then in workshop 2, maybe we could have a first story in which we describe what can happen if we don't do anything in 20 years. So we have a continuation of overexploitation and I don't know. And so we have a round table discussion. Can you tell us if you think this no action scenario is credible? Are there other impacts that we do not imagine? And do you agree that we don't want this? Everybody, what you want to achieve is everybody says, okay, we don't want this to happen. We need to do something. Maybe some people will tell us, we don't care. I don't know. Some farmers tell us, I don't care, the highway. So this is the first scenario, first discussion. And second discussion would be if we have maybe two action scenarios, I don't know. With all the ideas we collect in the first workshop, we try to construct two stories of different actions. One which is maybe really economic oriented. We really try to change economic policy so people stop making rice, and this is the indirect control. And the other one is the direct control. We put meter and we enforce the law, and we put volumes, maximum volume for each person, and well, these are two possible approaches, for example. And so we describe one scenario, we can present on a poster one scenario, and then same table, people discuss about what is good, what is not good, they come and present their comments on the other table, and then we go to the second scenario, the same.
That's for second round.
Second workshop, yeah. Second series of workshop. But I think this will become more clear after the first one. We know what ideas come out. And,
So the potential solution, scenarios, the petty control, or meter installation, or kind of a sustainability ground pumping limits, they enforced.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like this, but I see one indirect control, like you try to change the decision of farmers based on economic instruments, so subsidies, why not electricity price, or electricity control, or And the other one is really the classical groundwater control. So I give you water rights, I give you volumes, I have set a sustainable limit. So I really try to control groundwater, but I don't care about economic incentives. So it's two different approaches. And probably you want people at the end to tell you, we have to combine. We have to take something from the first scenario, something from the second scenario, and then in workshop 3 we select what they we take what they selected from the scenarios, and we make the action plan. But the choice of these 2 or maybe 3 scenarios will be made after we collect all the ideas from workshop 1, I think.
Electricity control, interesting. So means elevate the price of the electricity. If you use too many, but now there are simply no cost for electricity. Based on the farm interviews, they are very low.
Very low. Yeah.
Very low.
Yeah, but you can say, okay, I give you, I don't know, a certain quantity of electricity at low price, then I give you another slot of electricity higher, and then the last, after high consumption, it becomes very high. Or I don't know, I give you every day. If you have smart meters, I give you 2 hours electricity cheap, and 2 more hours electricity expensive, and then 3 more hours electricity very expensive. Well, I don't know, we can imagine things like this, but it's indirect control. We also have, in this indirect control, we have to think about how to use irrigate surface water. How can we change the system of
automatic water? Okay.
For example, pressure, put the system and the pipe, and people can use the. So you say, okay, I help you to stop using groundwater by changing the surface water so it's more efficient for you. Because this is one of the arrow in your diagram, so people will talk about it. So one of the solutions is put the system under pressure, so it facilitates the use. When you need it, you can take it. So this will be discussed in the first.
So the second round of workshops, first objectives is to discuss the scenarios and agree, and the end result is a few agreed upon scenarios that we're going to pursue. And the second part is to discuss based on those agreed upon scenarios. We discussed about the action plan. We come up with the steps we are going to implement.
In the third workshop?
In the second workshop.
No, in the second, I think it's enough. If we have 2 or 3 scenarios, each scenario is really focusing on a group of action, and the other one is focusing on another group of action. At the
group of action?
Of action. So, for example, first scenario is about economic incentives, basically. So, electricity and crop subsidies, things like this. People will tell you, okay, this is not feasible, but this is feasible. So, in this scenario, we select this and that action only, but forget about the others. So, okay, we take these 2 actions. In the second scenario, we take 2 other actions. And then at the end, we have a list of action that we really keep for constructing the final scenario. And in workshop 3, we come back with a proposed synthetic scenario. Say, okay, last time we discussed different possibilities. We take only what you decided and we put this together as one new story. And now let's decide who is doing what. Okay, this is what we want to do. Who is doing what? When do we do what? So this is the action plan. Who, what, and when. And based on pieces that we collect from the scenario in the second workshop.
The second workshop is to get the action plan options, alternatives.
Yes, options.
Which we have.
Yeah. So we show.
Discuss in the third workshop.
Because we don't want, if we show 3 action scenarios in the second workshop, we don't want them to choose one scenario. So we don't want to vote for scenarios. We want them to discuss each scenario and say, okay, this is good idea, this is not good idea. Take the good idea. Okay, second scenario, this is a good idea, this is not good idea. Take the good idea, and then at the end we just have a basket with good ideas, and this makes the final scenario.
there's always gray area in between, so you can choose the best and the best from each scenario.
From each scenario.
Okay. So my question, so from at the end of the first workshop, we already have a list of priority of the solutions. So based on this solution, so we already, after the first workshop, we already have the potential solutions. So in the second scenario base, so should we consider these actions? But for each of the actions, how do we create the kind of a scenario? If we take the certain solutions, what kind of scenario what kind of the result can become? Because maybe we do not very clear about what will be, how effective or what can happen, in the near future based on that action or based on that scenario. So how is there a way, kind of, because if we create in the wrong direction, for example, if we assume this action can be very effective and we direct ABC, so okay, this action can be so, and then create a scenario, but is there any possibility we guide them in the wrong direction?
I think it's more when we have a list of action. Putting this in a story, in a scenario, is one way to help them to think about the conditions for success and the problems that may happen. Because we don't have time to, in the first workshop, we don't have time to discuss this.
Yes.
So we take time to discuss this in the second one. For example, if we say, we have a scenario in which we say, okay, we really want to have this drilling control and permits given to all farmers and allocation given to all farmers. This system is in the law, we want this to work. So the solution is we take the control from the local government and give it to the water agency. This is the scenario. So when we write the story, we have to think of how do we do it. Maybe we have to give some phone call to the water agency to say, okay, if we do this, help us to think about the scenario, so we make the story, and then putting this into discussion, the local government will say, oh, I'm very happy. If you do this, I'm very happy, and I think you will not have any. So it's more discussing the feasibility and the effectiveness. We take more time to discuss feasibility and effectiveness in second workshop.
So we do not make these stories is before we should created a story already.
Yes.
Before the workshop.
Yes, we create the story and we try to write it in a nice way, and then we send the story to them before so they can read the story, and when they come, we present again the story, but they have the story in mind. And they can tell us, your story is not good because this is not going to work and this is not going to work. Mm-hmm. Or they can tell us, if you want your story to work, you have to do this here and this there. So it's one way to make everybody think of, if we want this story to work, what do we do?
So which means we should take the solution, the result from the first workshop, and to try to make all the scenario, potential scenario into several different stories. And the second workshop is discussing the flow of the stories.
Yes.
If this really happens, this kind of story can really happen.
And we cannot discuss too many stories. I think 3 is the maximum. So we have to find how to say a name for 3 big stories, and then you have your list of 25 action, and you say, okay, which one do I put in which story? So one story is about economic incentive, for example. So all solutions related to economic incentive, you put it in this story, and you start with saying it's politically not possible to control drilling and to control allocation and so on. Because it's not possible, we have to find another way. So we go for economic incentive. So this is the story. We don't control wells, we just control economic incentive. This is story 1. The second one is to say, okay, we cannot control water rights because of political reasons. So we take control of the groundwater rights, we give it to the government, and it will work. And then we put fines for a drilling machine, and then we put whatever. You imagine a story with strong government controlling everything. It's another story. And then maybe we can have a third story, which is a different approach. But no, it's like we make big choice. We choose. This is the wrong way, so we go that direction. This is not.
So when we make stories, so we need to consider the feasibility.
Yes. So in the story, when I'm doing this in France, I'm writing the story. I'm telling, okay, we first decide. Somebody's talking like in a newspaper. He's saying, I'm the director of water agency, and it's the third year that we do this. The first year was very difficult. We had this problem and that, and we did this, and now it's working well. So the person can tell things about the past, saying like, we started to do this, we had problems, we changed it, and now it's working well. People were not happy, but we have been fighting, blah, blah, blah. So you tell, like somebody is telling what has happened in the past. So you can explain feasibility, effectiveness problem, just like in words. You put the words in the mouth of, you know, and there was a demonstration, but I don't know.
OK，就是要创造一个情境，让我们沉浸在里面，就好像发生了那个事情那种。
对对。
Okay. So when we make stories, so you also mention we should consult with the agencies if this kind of stories can really happen, or we simply based on our creativity to create the potential flow and just invite them to discuss.
It depends, because in the first workshop maybe you get a lot of ideas, so it's enough. You know, okay, wow, I take all this and I can write my story. Maybe there will be not a lot of ideas, so it's your creativity, but you want to check it's feasible. So maybe you can call someone and say, okay, if we do this, what are the problems? So you make just one specific interview to get more ideas about to make sure your creativity is realistic.
Okay.
But then it's difficult to know before we have the meeting. When we have a first workshop, we see all the ideas and.
Okay, let me reconfirm the ideas. So the first round of workshops.
Okay.
Oh, it's
I think
almost.
in 5 minutes we have to take the luggage and.
Okay. Yeah. So the first round, we give impact scenarios. So first round workshop. So the scenarios is about impact, and we want to confirm that this is a serious problem all stakeholders want to solve. And we give scenarios on impact, and then we discussed about the problems and solutions.
Yeah, I would not use the word scenario here.
Okay.
Because you describe a system. To me, scenario is possibilities of something.
Okay. Okay.
So I would not use the word scenario in the first workshop. I would just say
systems, but
existing problems and
existing systems and their impacts, mentioning the impacts. Okay, and the second workshop, we gather the ideas of solutions, and we create scenarios about solutions.
So in the second scenario, we bring, in the second workshop, we bring scenario of solutions. So people react on it.
Yep. And then at the end of the second round workshop, we gather action plan ideas, action ideas
that we combine, and then in the last workshop
we combine those actions into a few, one or two final solutions or action plans.
I would see the output of the last scenario. I would see like a timeline, and on the timeline we say, okay, here in next year there should be action from water agency, action from irrigation agency, blah, blah, blah. Then the year after, there should be here. We need funding here. We need legal change here. So it's really the succession in time of what has to be done by who. Because maybe if we want to take the control of groundwater rights from local government to national government, we need a legal change. So we have to identify this, like, okay, the law has to be changed here, or regulation, or I don't know. And here, if we want to modernize irrigation system, it will take 5 years to do, and we need a number of millions to do it, and increase of water price, I don't know. So this has to be decided here, this will take place here, it will be okay here, and then something else. So it's really like, let's imagine you are planning the action.
Yeah, we give them a roadmap.
Roadmap, yeah. Okay. what has to be done by whom and when.
And the results is an agreed upon roadmap
Yes,
that everybody
yes, yes.
agrees to
Yeah.
take action.
Yeah, even if they do not agree, but we say, okay, if we want to reach that final objective in 20 years, this is what we should do. Now, our research work is finished. We gave you ideas, we help you to identify ideas. Your turn to work now.
Okay.
I mean, your turn to agree and to talk with the minister and to talk with whatever, I don't know. We just help you imagine where to go, how to go there. Now, we just researchers.
Okay. So my question is, for first workshop, the final result will list the potential actions. So what is the result? The result of second is also the list of the actions. Also, what's the difference between because the result from first workshop and the second workshop?
Second workshop will do then the scenario.
Yeah. In the process, we give them a scenario. It makes story, give them a scenario. But what the final result at the end of the workshop? Yeah, we need to have the idea of what action we should do. But these actions, we already collect this kind of information from our first workshop. So what the difference is between...
First workshop is more of the problems we want to solve and the potential solution, but it's a more large...
Quite vague, yeah.
Yeah, it's a vague solution. And the second round...
How detailed of the... So, because this may be... If we have a clear objective, then it may be easier during the meeting. We should push to that consensus. So maybe that's the reason I try to clarify this. So in the second workshop, how detailed actions? Because we already have the potential actions, and if we in the second workshop we still discuss this, but of course. In first workshop, we discussed the actions based on the current systems we described. The second workshop, we discussed actions based on the scenarios we described. But what kind of details? How details we should come up, try to express in our.
I think in the first workshop we are going to go through a long list of solutions, and we are not clear about how to implement it. For example, we say, okay, we have to change subsidies. Maybe you will say, okay, we have to cancel the subsidy for rice in one season. Okay, this is an idea. Some other ideas we say, okay, forget it. So if we have 100 ideas at the beginning, 100 possible action, we say we are going to focus on 25, only 25. So no need to spend time on the others. Now we take this subsidy issue, we have to think a bit more in detail. How can we change it? So this is where maybe we need to give phone call to understand, okay, how is it working? If you want to change it, what are the constraints? What is it? So then we make a more detailed description of how to implement this idea. So the first discussion is just a screening of all possible action, identify what we have to investigate a bit more. In the scenario, it's already much more detailed of how to implement it. You make it credible. You say, okay, if I want this solution to be efficient and acceptable, I have to do it like this. So you think of the details. And at the end of this discussion, you select only some of them, because some of them you say, okay, it's going to be difficult, but it's already a bit more detailed, I think.
Okay, so the first is the screen or the direction of potential actions. But second is the potential action and the implementation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my question is, second workshop, still Taipei and Yunlin?
Yeah. All series of workshop has three workshops.
Because I think maybe in
The third workshop should be combined together, right?
The third one could be together.
Yeah. I think in the second workshop we should start to mix them, even not so many, maybe just a few farmers from Taichung from Yunlin to Taipei. We can hear more voice when they meet each other, because if always central and local,
close.
maybe they have stronger their opinion, but they cannot talk each other.
Yeah, maybe because from the first workshop, we collect the actions, potential actions from different groups. But if there's from second, 3 groups come up to different actions and potential implementation, that'd be very difficult for us because different level maybe have different consensus.
Yeah. Yeah, but then if I'm thinking in France, it would be very difficult to put someone from a Ministry of Economics and Water Agency and then one farmer. Because the guy from a ministry, he thinks policy, and when he's talking to the director of a water agency, they all know exactly the law and everything, so they go fast. If there is a farmer, they have to explain in detail and this and that, and they waste time.
Yeah.
So depends. It depends what level you take. But if you take, for example, Dr. The vice director of Water Resource Agency, the guy we went to drink with.
Dr. Wu, Director Wu.
If you take this guy, he's thinking fast, and you put someone from the director or second deputy director of water agency, irrigation agency together, and so if you put a farmer, it's going to be strange, I think. But maybe I agree, at the end, we should tell them, okay, we have one meeting, 2 hours with you, another meeting, 2 hours with you, but next meeting, the last one, please, you come to Yunlin. We wait for you in Yunlin. And they come to Yunlin and they participate to the last meeting, and then they can talk with farmers. But at the end of the discussion, maybe.
Maybe not farmers, maybe. First, second one, national levels and local level officers.
Second one already.
I mean the
Second workshop.
scenario.
Second workshop.
Scenarios.
If you can make it, if you can invite, but maybe we will lose them. They are not coming.
Yes.
The problem is if they don't come.
Yeah. Yes. Give them money.
I always give them money and the pineapple cake.
Okay, let's finish this one. Yep.
That's good plan.
Clear. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Maybe, Tiny, can you just make a very short summary in English as well?
Yes, I'll do that.
Because you have your very detailed notes in Mandarin, but I have my very poor notes.
I try to make
Okay. So now you take all your luggage. We try to put all in the car, and then I take you to the tram station.
Okay.